A $50 donation from Retro Next Gen, who said, showing up for the rhythm games at GDQ, no game incentive left behind. We had a $50 donation from Binder News, said, come on, everyone, let's drum up support for the Boss Song Showcase. Take note of this donation, and maybe it'll strike a chord with some of you, causing you to drop a beat. Some more donations. I think they read your mind, Binder, because we totally did hit that incentive. We had a $100 donation here from Anonymous, who says, no comment. Not a no comment comment, just no comment. That's what this would be if the Boss Song Showcase was already met. Come on, chat. Let's get that incentive met. And we did. And we also have a $100 donation by Dee Decline, who says, a $100 hype train, worth it for this 6th set and hopefully more to come. And I'm getting word that we are ready to go for our next run. So coming up next, this is Ynglet by Warm Ham.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Ynglet. I had a bit of a crisis before this run because I wasn't sure if it's pronounced Ynglet or Ynglet. I've only ever seen it written. So the jury's out. You can kind of pronounce it however you want. But so this is an indie game that dropped last year. It's a precision platformer that was developed by Niflis, who's perhaps best known for his previous works Within a Deep Forest and Knit Stories. This is a pretty fun, vibesy game, so I'm excited to share it with you all. We're going to be doing the 100% category, so we're going to be getting all the things on the challenging difficulty. And I think we'll just kind of jump in and get started. Ready to go. We'll get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. All right. So there's a premise to this game. The basic gist is that you are a jellyfish in Copenhagen, Denmark, and you were just chilling with all your friends one day, and then a meteor just hit your house and sent everybody flying all over Copenhagen. So now it's our mission to traverse Copenhagen and rescue our bird friends and our egg friends as well. And because this is the 100% category, we're going to be collecting some of these star-shaped things over here. We in the community refer to these as Doritos. We're going to be getting 33 Doritos throughout the run to get a full bag of chips. And this is just the opening stage. We're getting used to the movement, just kind of floating around from bubble to bubble here. This is kind of a platformer without platforms, I guess you could say. I missed a star. Oh no, I'm just going to have to go back and get it. There we go. And you'll notice this line here. We can bounce off of these blue lines. That's going to factor in a little bit more heavily in just a little bit, but just make a mental note. And there's our first bird friend. We're going to show this bird friend to the exit here, which is right up this way. We'll collect our last Dorito. And yeah, kind of a simple, easygoing start to the run. You know, nothing too crazy. We do have these disappearing bubbles that actually, that mechanic doesn't appear at any point later in the run, so enjoy those bubbles while they last. And you might be thinking right now, well, Warm Ham, just go into the exit, you fool. And that's a fair point. However, I can't go into the level exit until my bird friend gets there first. So there's the bird friend, and there's me, and we're out of the first level. So these levels are all based off of real locations that you can visit in Copenhagen, and actually the 101% category for this game involves actually visiting Copenhagen and going to the locations included in this game and playing the game at each of those locations, which, as far as I know, nobody's done yet, but it's a cool little Easter egg of this game that you can get 101% by doing that. So I just unlocked a dash. That's kind of what's going to make this game all tricky and stuff. So you'll notice the way my dash works is kind of cool, and what I think is very unique to this game. I have a little red indicator line at the end of my character model every time I input a dash, right? So I'm going to mostly tap dash, but sometimes I might hold dash to set my angle, and the red indicator line will kind of show me the direction of my dash angle. So I'm going to try to just preset my angle as much as I can so that I don't actually have to like set it too much because setting the angle takes time. And I'd rather just try to prepare as much as I can in advance. I'm going to take this train for safety. You'll also notice I can ricochet off of these red lines, right? So we talked about the blue lines earlier. There's also these red lines that I can ricochet off of. Those are kind of the basic mechanics of the game. We can also take these trains, which teleport us to different parts of the level. And there's our next exit. So that's kind of the basics of the game. We're bouncing off of lines, we're ricocheting off of lines, we're jumping into trains. And we can actually do something pretty nifty with trains that I'll show later on when we get to the later stages here. But next we just have a kind of a quick and easy level. This one's Assistens Kierkegaard, I think is how you pronounce it. I'm not Danish, so I'm just going to try my best on this, but the layout of this game is really cool because it tends to switch between these like single screen moments combined with like longer levels. So you'll get these little breaks in between the longer levels, just that kind of introduce new ideas and things to be on the lookout for as you play through the game. And now we're going into Christiania. This is the first major reset point of the run. When I started running this game, I think it was probably responsible for like half of my resets. So it's a tricky one. This introduces a pretty cool mechanic where every time I dash, these orange and blue bubbles are going to toggle on and off. So I'm just going to have to do some extra mental work to make sure that I have the right bubbles activated. So there's this kind of cool incremental process to learning the game as you go through the game. All right, I'm going to grab this Dorito over here by doing that cool box dash. And I'm going to do a safety checkpoint here. I don't think I've talked about checkpointing yet, but this is going to come in handy for the marathon. So if you just stay in a neutral bubble for 3 seconds, you'll see that pink outline form. And that allows you to basically checkpoint anywhere in the game, which is really helpful, especially when you're just like first getting used to the game. Oops. Whoa. And especially, so if I were to like fall and like die at the end of this stage, I would have to do the entire stage over again. So in a proper speedrun, deaths are really consequential, right? Because we aren't really checkpointing anywhere in the run that's not required. So it's kind of a tricky run to master in that sense because you really can't make too many mistakes because mistakes are very costly in this game. Every dash kind of matters quite a bit. So that was Christiania. We got our next bird friend, and now we're going to Erstedsparken. I have learned in my time playing this game that I believe the O with a line through it's pronounced like an sound, so I think this is Erstedsparken. Another single screen moment here. We're just going to dash and get these orbs and find the exit. And now we're getting into a couple of tricky levels in the mid-game here. This next one is called Sidhavnen, and has us kind of taking the least intended route, I think, in the entire run. We're going to be doing kind of some interesting speedrunnery routes here on this stage where we just don't do what was intended. We're going to start by going here, bouncing off of this blue line, hitting a right angle to go up here. And I'm going to be very careful to not dash through these blue lines because, as it turns out, you can bounce off of the blue lines, but if you're close enough, you can also dash through them, which is handy sometimes and very annoying other times. So we did that. We're going to pop up here. And this next part's a little bit tricky, so I'm just going to want to focus for a second. I'm going to try to make sure I don't fall to my death here. This is one of those stages where you really can't checkpoint at all because the level exit's actually at the start of the level. So if I were to like die here, this would be kind of bad because I would have to redo the entire level over again, trying not to do that live on stream. But we're good. There's our egg friend. Hooray. Got all the Doritos. Hooray. And we're out of here. Take the train out. And that is Sidhavnen. That's great that that went okay because I was pretty worried about how that would go in the live marathon. I definitely made some whoopsies in practice, so that went better than expected, which is great. So next we're going to go to Bella Center. This is probably the shortest level, shortest or maybe second shortest level in the entire run. It's just 2 dashes, and it's going to show us that indeed we can dash through these blue lines. That's it. That's the stage. So next up is Vesterbro, and you'll start to notice something interesting happening once we get into this next level here. Something's changing with the environment. We'll see what's going on here. It appears as though the sun's starting to set. I wonder what that might mean for future levels. I won't spoil, but I basically just spoiled. So basically this game has it has like a day to night progression. So we're going to be doing some nighttime levels in just a moment here. Going to be very careful so as to not mess this part up. Kind of tricky technical dashes there. Going to pop up here and get a couple more Doritos and our egg friend, and we'll be on our merry way. But that tricky part with all the red lines is the scariest part of this level in particular, and it went okay. All right. So we're gonna pop up here, get this last Dorito, delicious. And there's kind of a fun gotcha moment at the end of this stage where I have to actually dash into the level exit, otherwise I just fall to my death. That got me real good the first time I played this game, but not anymore. I have learned and adapted. Pleased to report. All right. So next up is another single screen stage here. This is Clovermarken. Just a real kind of simple and elegant stage here. We're gonna ricochet off the red line, dash through the blue line, pop over to the orb, and we are out of here. Yeah, I do like how minimal this game can be at times and just kind of how it introduces new ideas. I think it's really, really cool. This game was, I think, in development for like 8 years or something. And despite it being a pretty short game, casually it's about 3 hours or so. You can really feel the attention to detail in basically every part of the game. Oops. Especially in the music. You might have noticed that the music is very dynamic. It responds to basically everything that I do in the game. Every time I dash, there's a little sound effect. Every time I enter a train, there's usually a key change or some type of musical flourish. So a lot of care was taken into the jams for this game. And this is probably the best song in the entire run, I'd have to say. All right, a couple of mechanics to be on the lookout for here. There's some bubbles. Oops, whoa, easy does it there. There's some bubbles that disappear every time I dash, so they basically have like a dash counter. So I just have to be careful that I don't dash too many times, otherwise I'm just not going to be able to proceed. Okay, that was an interesting way to go about that, but we did it. That's cool. And there's a required checkpoint here. I'm just going to do this to reset the bubbles. Okay, and we're going to pause here while I'm passing through this train. Weirdly enough, like when you pause the game, it just allows you to pass through the trains instead of entering them, which is great because entering the train there would be kind of slow. And we're going to do a pretty big skip up here. I'm going to do a fancy bounce. We're going to hopefully bounce off of this blue line up ahead. Got it. We're going to land in this washing machine bubble. Yes. Great. Got the momentum too. All right, that's probably my favorite strat in the entire run. It's very precise and feels great when you get it. All right, and we're approaching the end of Kestrel. This is going to be a good chance for a donation if you guys want to get in one or two.
Sure, we do have one here. We have a $25 donation from the Deluxe Tux, who says, "Thank you so much for running Ynglet, one of my favorite games by one of my favorite game developers. I have been staying up for hours waiting for this run by Warm Ham. Just listen to this super cool audio magic. Have a great run."
Awesome. Wow, I'm glad that we've united the Ynglet heads here for GDQ. That's awesome. Great. All right, so that was Kestrup. We have probably time for another donation. The next level is kind of uneventful.
Okay. We have a... Let's see here. This is actually a big one that came in. We have a $500 donation from The Cultured Flea, who says, "Games have played an important part throughout my life, and it's amazing to see the way this event has grown and the massive positive impact it makes every time. Also, I think that farm needs a barn cat."
I agree. That's where my money's going, so I think we got to get the cat in Stardew Valley. Got to make it happen. All right, so we're coming up kind of on the last couple of major levels here. This one's called Tornby. This is another big reset point when you're doing runs, because it just gets a little tricky. There's a couple of really tough moments later on here. That was the first tough one, actually. Getting up there optimally is not super easy. It requires a precise type of dash. The main thing with this stage is that it's kind of a variation on what was introduced during Christiania. So every time I ricochet off of the red lines now, these bubbles are going to toggle on and off, the orange and blue ones. We're going to pause through the train here again, and hopefully we don't fall to our death. Good, great. So those disappearing bubbles caught us, as they should. Sometimes they don't, and that's super frustrating. But it worked out this time, which rules. I'm just going to checkpoint here, because this next part is a little bit tricky to get perfectly. That one okay. There's another part up ahead that can sometimes just not really play out my way, so we're just going to hedge our bets and checkpoint there. Okay. All right, that's fine. Ideally, you can get right up here with a good bounce off of that blue box earlier, but this is fine. We take this. We take this over falling to our deaths, like any day of the week. Okay. Great. And we're just about wrapped up here with Tornby. I'm going to collect my next bird friend. If you want to fit in one more donation, I think that'll be the last good opportunity for us before the end of the run.
Sure thing. We have another $500 donation here from, $500 donation from the Lady May, who says, GDQ events are some of my favorite weeks of the year, and I've been looking forward to It Takes Two all week. However, this AGDQ hits a bit differently. Last May, one of my best friends lost her 9-year battle with cancer just a few days past her 34th birthday. We always assumed we'd continue our silly adventures together well into our golden years like our grandparents and great-grandparents before us. So I donated $1 for every extra year I wish we had gotten times 10 for the near decade we did get to have since her battle had begun. I love you always and forever, Amelia. Lady May, thank you for the donation, and we're sorry for your loss. Thank you very much, though, for the $500. All the best to you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. It's not easy to share. That was rough, and that's our last single screen stage, and we're gonna head into the final major level here. This is Nørrebroparken, which I've learned a little bit of Danish over the last few months. This, I believe, means North Bay Bridge. Somebody can fact check me on that, but I think that's what it translates to. And this is kind of the final gauntlet, right? So this is going to be a nice summary of the mechanics that we've been introduced to throughout the run. We're going to see these momentum bubbles. We'll see the disappearing bubbles. We'll see all manner of bubbles here. Shouts out to the Japanese runner Poshi for this strat. We did not know how to do that for a long time optimally, and I took one look at Poshi's run and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Shouts out to Poshi, also helping with the Japanese restream and commentary, so big thanks to you. And also Fupio as well, the current world record holder for this category. He bopped me by 9 seconds, but in any case, he's doing the French restream commentary as well, so shouts out to Fupio. I'm going to checkpoint here, because this is a good midpoint in the level. And again, deaths are super costly. It would entail me doing the whole thing over again. Okay, I'm going to be very careful here. Going to try to do like an up and over thing with these guys. Great. And this is a risky strat, but I'm going to try it. It hasn't been going super well in practice, but we're just going to try to go straight up this red line here, and then do it again on this next red line. Okay, great. Gonna bop over here, fall down to this. I don't even know what to call that bubble. It's like an explodey bubble. We'll call it an explodey bubble. That works. One more checkpoint here because we are approaching our final Dorito of the run. The last chip that goes in the bag here. Okay. I'm just kind of focusing here because this is a little bit spooky. A little scary, this. All right. Precise angle. Nice, we got it. Great. All right, that was the last Dorito. And that was the last major hurdle before the end of the run. Now, I'm collecting my last bird friend, but time will not be for a little bit because we are going to go back to the overworld map and enter a level to trigger the final cutscene here. But this is essentially the end of the run. So I just wanted to say shouts out to the whole Ynglet community. You know, we are a small but mighty crew. Fupio, Poshi, Holden, Bad Black Shark. Shouts out to all y'all. And definitely, if you're looking for like a easy to learn, hard to master kind of platformer, this is a great candidate for that kind of thing. It's like $5 on Steam, so pretty cheap, and just takes a couple of hours to beat casually. So I think it's a great kind of introductory speed run, and it's pretty technical too. There's a lot of kind of fun little tricks to learn. Time's going to come up when the screen fades to white here, and that is time. And that is Ynglet 100% in a decent amount of time. We'll just confirm that that we got 100% here. So as this cutscene plays, we'll watch a TV and it'll show us the number of Doritos that we got. Hopefully it was 33. That's the magic number. And the way that we time in the community is time without loads. So that was a 1642 time without loads for me, which is good. That was my goal time was just a sub 17 time without loads, so we hit it, which is great. So thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of the marathon. This has been a super cool event. Props to everybody for raising $1 million like halfway through the week. That's nuts. Keep it up, and let's see if we can make this the best one ever, y'all. It's a really awesome event. Let's just make sure we got 33 here. Excellent, few. Otherwise I would have had to go back, but all right, thanks for watching, y'all, and enjoy the rest of the marathon.
All right, claps in the chat again for that fantastic run of Ynglet by Warm Ham. Well done, well done. Look at that, we're so close to 1.4 million. What are we? We're $515 away. Let's read some more donations. Come on, we're right there at it. We're knocking on it. We're knocking on the door. Can we come in? 1.4 million. We got a $25 donation here from Monkey the Tabby Cat, who says, need to vote for my own kind. Meow, meow. We have a $255 donation from Twofer, who says, great job, GDQ runners and staff. Thanks for another great event. We have a $50 donation from Evil J. It looks like this is a response from our prize segment. Evil J says, okay, Cent, you got me. I didn't need an excuse to throw money at PCF in the first place, but a chance to make Mega Mem an indelible part of my life? Shut up and take my money. Well, we just had a cat donation. Well, now we have a $500 donation from Dog Enjoyer, who says, Bork. We have a $50 donation from Eldritch Wolfie, who says, gotta love having all these late night comfy GDQ times during work, especially with Enigma on the mic. Oh, Eldritch. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for the $50. And we have a $25 donation from True Owl, who says, GDQ is always the best. Looking forward to even more amazing runs as we continue this amazing event. Less than 3. And yes, we will continue this amazing event. It is my time to say goodbye to the host desk for AGDQ 2022 online. It has been a pleasure being here with you once again. I am AnEternalEnigma, and this is my 10th GDQ hosting. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to everybody who has had me here, everybody at GDQ. I appreciate it. Everybody in the chat. You're cute. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You're cute. Now, our next host coming up is Purple Ghost Casper, who will be hosting It Takes Two. Can we get to $1.4 million so Purple Ghost Casper can can give you a little bit of an announcement, I think that'd be pretty awesome. But thank you all again very much. Let's all take care of ourselves, and hopefully we can see each other in person again very, very soon. Thank you all very much, and we're going to go to a quick Twitch ad, and when we come back, Purple Ghost Casper will have you next. Thank you, everybody.
Here at Awesome Games Done Quick 2022. Hello and welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 online, powered by Twitch. My name is Purple Ghost Casper and I'll be your host for a bit. Let's get into some of these donations from y'all. We have $500 from C-Tech Astronomy that says, here's to 1.4 million. And if I'm correct, it seems that we just hit that. So can I get a hype in chat for 1.4 million here at Awesome Games Done Quick 2022? That is amazing. We have $252.50 from Melanomi that says, time to step it up. Let's make this week one to remember. Thank you so much for that donation. We have $25 from TK that says, let's get to 1.5 mil by midnight. We can do it with a $5 train. I'll get things started with 5. Here's $5 to $25. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, let's see if we can get to 1.5 million. I think we can. We have $500 from Sogar Goffin that says, love you all, keep fighting the good fight. Thank you so much for that. I also have a couple of anonymous donations here, one for $1,000 and one for $2,000. Thank you guys so much for that. We really appreciate it here. We have $500 from Silverwing that says, these past couple of years have been hard on me, just like they've been hard on everyone. It's always great to watch this event and all the good you guys do. Thank you to the speedrunners, tech crew, and all those involved for putting in the work to make this event happen every year after year. Thank you so much for that, Silverwing.